At the London Marathon last year, I ran out of water and got dehydrated by mile 18. At the Berlin Marathon, I forgot to take enough salt and started cramping at mile 20. And then at the New York City Marathon, I didn't anticipate the elevation in hills and I became too tired to run at my marathon pace at the very end. All of these factors prevented me from hitting a new personal record. So today I'm gonna break down the 5 things that are gonna change my marathon races forever. I'm building a tool that breaks down weather, hills, temperature, humidity, and more based on my past running history in Strava. It'll give me gel recommendations, electrolyte recommendations, and water station timing so that way I can run my fastest marathon this year. I built this tool thanks to today's sponsor, Perplexity Computer. It pulls in all my data from my past Strava runs like paces, heart rate, distances, conditions on those days. It then uses that historical data to predict what I'm actually capable of running for my next marathon, given the specific weather forecast and the elevation of that course mile by mile. I can select any of the 6 world major marathons: Boston, London, Tokyo, Berlin, Chicago, and New York. It builds a customized race plan on that exact course for that exact race day. These are the 5 things that every marathon runner must know before race day. Every pace calculator only takes into account your goal time, not the weather on actual race day or your historical runs, heart rate, and all that information. High temperatures and humidity raise your heart rate, making it even harder to run at the same pace in those conditions. I know that after running 6 marathons in the past few years and struggling at higher temperatures. And as a bigger guy on hills, it puts a massive muscular load on my body and I get much more tired and fatigued faster. Now, if I had known to take it slower on the hills that were expected and to drink more water and electrolytes when it was much warmer, maybe I would have hit a personal record. These are all fixable problems. And the answer was already in my Strava data. I have hundreds of runs with heart rate, pace, the weather on those specific days. That historical data is a personal model of how my body responds to specific conditions. Now, what if those marathon calculators could take all of my personal historical data and tie it with my goal time to give me an actual recommendation of what's possible on that specific day? This is what Perplexity Computer helped me build to solve this problem. Now, what is Perplexity Computer? Think of it as a senior manager at a big, fast-moving New York City company. I don't have to tell them exactly what to do, but I give them a general brief, and then the entire team gets it done for me. So all I need to do is describe the outcome once, and Perplexity Computer will break it up into tasks, run them simultaneously, and then bring the results to me. There's no step-by-step prompting, no babysitting. Now for this model, I connected my Strava account, historical weather data from the public, my Gmail account, and I asked it to build a dashboard with all the information that I need to run my world's fastest marathon ever with no coding experience. Now, let me just show you kind of like what it looks like here. This is Perplexity Computer on my screen. I love that it's not just like one of the AI models out there. It actually selects the best AI model for that specific task. Like you can use Gemini for weather research, Opus for data analysis, and a separate coding model for the front end of my magical website. And you know what? I've been playing with it and I found that it runs into challenges. And guess what? Sub-agents come in and they help figure it out. So I want to run a quick sample of just pulling in my Strava data to give you a quick overview of what it might look like. But this would have taken a developer days to do. I'm doing it with just a few sentences of English instantly in a few minutes. I think I'm still kind of surprised at how amazing this technology is. It's mind-blowing. Now it's starting to do this data analysis on my past Strava data. Give me some quick insights, but I forgot. I need to grab some water first. Oh shoot, I closed my laptop, but wait, I think it runs in the cloud, so I don't have to worry about keeping my laptop open. All right, let's get back to it. It's finally analyzed my Strava race predictions. It looks like we got a 5K of 19:45. I've never broken sub 20, but I think I might be in shape enough. 1:37 for the half marathon and 3:38 for a full marathon. But the thing is, there are so many factors outside of that impact it, and we're gonna go into the 5 major ones that I need to absolutely get right to run my fastest marathon. Now, the first roadblock I need to overcome is knowing the race conditions on that specific day for that specific marathon. And since I've ran 5 out of the 6 world major marathons, and I'm gonna run another one this fall, I need to know what's the temperature on that day, the humidity, the dew point, the wind, and even the elevation. So that way I can modify my race paces to match those environmental variables. So the first thing I want to make sure is that I'm able to select any of the world major marathons. Maybe I expand this to every single marathon in the world. I'm going to attach some screenshots of websites I like so that way I can kind of incorporate that style and I can feel like I can recognize it. I want to be able to have the variables for that race day automatically using public weather information. My prompt is written in plain English, and now all I'm going to do is hit enter. And this is where the magic begins. I think at first when Perplexity reached out, I was like, oh, this sounds kind of interesting. I don't really know. But then I started playing with it and my mind was blown away at what I could build, how quickly I could build it. And you're about to see this live. All right, look at this. It's got visual direction in terms of what we're going to be able to see, the data model that it's going to be using, weather integration, the dashboard UI, instant updates, as well as QA and deploy. QA, quality assurance. Let's see if we're gonna check to make sure everything is done properly. Yep, that looks good to me. We're gonna click approve. Now it's gonna decide which AI model is best for solving that specific problem within this plan. Run that, and then simultaneously solve all the other problems in this plan. Oh, look, it's already going. Simultaneously solve all the other problems in this plan to get us to the solution on the dashboard that we need. And all I had to do was type it in just a few sentences of English. I think I just want you to realize that I'm running this from my laptop in the middle of a park. Like this is the future. And I'm doing something that's gonna change the marathon world with this. And I can close this laptop, go sit somewhere else, and it'll keep working in the background. It is now complete. We've got this dashboard right here. We can see what's included, what it's also tested, all the work that it's done. I can scroll up and see that information. So now we're gonna expand this to get the larger view. I love the vibe, the color aspects of this. You can see the race conditions for London right now, Sunday, April 26th. I can go through and select which one. You know, I'm from New York, so I love the New York City one. We see the temperature information, the elevation gain profile, the breezy sections, the race day stress score, Berlin, London, Boston, Tokyo. We've got every marathon you can think of. I just ran Tokyo if you watched that video. Luckily it wasn't too hot, but I still wasn't able to finish in the time that I wanted. And that's why we're building this, because the next marathon, I'm not gonna be stopped by the external factors. Now is a good start, but I need to use my past historical Strava data as well as to predict what my marathon time could be, and I need mile by mile recommendations. So as the elevation changes, as the weather gets warmer the rest of the day, because a marathon 3-4 hours, like 3 hours in, it's gonna be much warmer. So I might need to slow down, and maybe I need to run the first half actually much faster to be able to hit the time that I need, while also taking into account what am I capable of based on past heart rate, distance, elevation, and all that data and information. So that's really the second most important thing you need to worry about a marathon is race paces. It's so easy to be like, I want to run a sub 4 hour marathon, which means I need to be under about 909 minute per mile pace. But that's not the pace you're going to run every single mile, because the weather's changing throughout the race. Maybe the first half is cooler, the second half is warmer. The elevation is changing throughout the race. There's some parts where you're going to actually have to run a 10-minute mile per mile pace, and some parts where you're going to run an 8:30 per mile pace because you're going uphill. And I need this tool to take that into account for the marathon that I'm running specifically. So now we're going to upgrade it. Now I love on my Strava app, it'll give me like the mile by mile, how fast I've ran in the past. So I want to see something visually similar to that in terms of being able to know how fast I should run at this specific race. So now I'm going to have it use my historical data, analyze it with the AI that it thinks is best, give me recommendations on what I might be able to run, and give me mile by mile paces I should run for that specific race, even as I change the races. So this is the prompt I put in. It's plain English. I wanted to take into account all the past data plus weather, make it interactive so I can kind of manipulate it and see like what works for me, how things might change if the weather changes. So now all we need to do is press enter, and it's going to start to build another plan and upgrade this. Now it's going to take the existing dashboard, because that's what I wanted, and I want it to extend. We're going to expand. That's the best part, because once I'm done with this video, if you comment down below ideas that you have, I can make this dashboard even cooler. That way I can use it for future races, you can use it for future races. So I want to hear ideas that you might have for problems that we can all solve in the running space using Perplexity Computer. And fun fact, I will have a link down below for Perplexity Computer. Click that if you want to sign up. And if you want to use Perplexity Computer, it is available on the Max plan. And what's crazy is it's cheaper than one coaching session in New York City, and it runs 24/7 until race day. It looks like the deploy validator flagged 2 wording issues rather than a code failure. So it's crazy. It's finding problems and now it's trying to solve them. It's automatically happening. Like I'm not like interacting with it. I'm just watching it, and it's making this and solving problems it sees. I'm at a loss for words. Jaw dropping. All right, it is now complete. It's deployed. We have the World Major Marathons conditions. We got to drop down here. Let's expand this full screen so we can see the entire app. Same thing, we've got all the marathons here. We'll keep it in London because I'm in London right now. Just watched the London Marathon. And I know with this tool, I will never ever make the mistakes I made before. Projected finish, 3 hours and 30 minutes. Oh, The goal is break 330, so I need to train more. But see, this is where things get fascinating. I don't think people realize temperature, humidity, elevation, they just have such a massive impact on heart rate. It shows you late heart rate impact +5 beats per minute. Like as that happens mile per mile, I'm gonna get so much slower later in the day, later in the race. So it just shows how much and how important it is for me to run slightly faster in the beginning to minimize the temperature impact, especially on this specific race day. I have all my goal paces, the wave start time. I can change that as needed. Temperature, humidity, I can adjust if I need to see how it might impact us. Honestly, let's just see that together. Look at that. If I put to 70 degrees, I'm already adding 4 minutes to the race time. And 80 degrees, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, it's gonna add 7 minutes. Humidity is another factor. We go to like 80% humidity. Look at that. That's already adding 10 minutes. It's kind of sad. It just shows you like, you better have a good weather day because those things are outside your control and there's nothing I can do about it. But now I know how much slower, right? The elevation is also changing, so it's taking that into account. You can see the paces are a few seconds different. Even like what, mile 19, 8:22, mile 24, 8:40, whereas like the first set of miles are 8:15, 8:14. There is an elevation drop, which is helpful, and the temperatures will be much cooler if they start at that temperature. And even if I go and change it to like the Tokyo Marathon, which I just recently did as well, we can go see it's pulling the start time. It's actually 1 hour earlier in Tokyo when they start the marathon. So that's helpful when it comes to temperature. And the heart rate differential is slightly lower, so 328. So because of weather conditions, could make it or break it in terms of me hitting my goal marathon pace. And I would have no idea if I didn't know this. And there is no tool out there other than this one, which will be linked down in the description, that makes this happen. Now the third one is race fueling, right? When do I take my gels? That's really dependent on what kind of gels you have. When do I take my electrolytes, salt, and water? Depends on which kind of salt tablets or salt you bought. But I want to be able to see that in my dashboard. So let's upgrade this, take it to the next level so we can take into account the types of gels, the types of salt, and when I should be hydrating with water. Now, there's different kinds of gels I actually like, so I don't always take the same brand. So that's where I kind of need this tool to incorporate not just the gels I like, the gels you like, and the gels that other people might use as well, including the salt options too. So actually, I'm gonna ask Perplexity Computer to research the most popular brands of electrolytes, carbs, gels, salts, all that type of stuff, and allow me to select an option from each one, know the milligrams, the grams of carbs and sodium in that specific type of packet, and then create a race strategy in terms of how I should fuel with that specific brand of carbs and electrolytes. And I want it to customize to all my past historical Strava data, my current physical body in terms of weight and all that information. So I wrote this all down in plain English. We're gonna tap enter and it's gonna start building this, adding it to my dashboard to make this the most extravagant thing ever. So now it's got a plan. It's gonna identify, normalize the top 10 of each. It's got sports science guidelines, like do research. Yes, I told, like, know what do the studies, the research papers say in terms of what I should be taking during it. Find the proper fueling algorithm, don't just guess. And then it's all gonna be interactive. We need to be able to input, play with it, deploy it. I wanna be able to manipulate the numbers, try different gels, maybe something's better than something else. And it's like, oh, Shervin, why does that matter? I'm just gonna take a gel every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes. It does. Some gels have 30 grams of carbs, some have 60 grams of carbs. That means I could take 2 of these gels for every one of these gels. And if you've ever ran a marathon like I have, there are points in a marathon where you just feel so sluggish, so tired, and it's hard to run and keep running. And a lot of times it's because you didn't eat enough during the race, let alone before the race. Oh, we're not there yet. Don't worry, we'll get there. I love this. It's gathering manufacturer nutrition data, sports science guidelines from primary or high authority sources rather than relying on snippets. Like if I'm curious, I can go through the checklist, I can open these things up, I can see what it's thinking about exactly. Look, it's like, hey, I need to clarify these things. It's running some tasks in parallel. I'm kind of scared now. This thing's a bit smarter than me. It's complete. We can see here, let's go ahead and expand this screen. So same page, we just added some more modules to it. Oh dude, this is crazy. We have mile by mile fuel and hydration. We've got energy gels, which I can go and see the drop down. It already pre-selected my favorites, which is funny. Maybe you like science and sport. I have a lot of friends who like those. Those are 40 grams in carbs. Or maybe you like torque energy, which is a little less in carbs. Or goo, which is 21 grams. And then noon sports tablets, you got, I like Element, that's 1,000 milligrams. We're gonna, boom, look at that. I only need it a few times throughout the race. If you select Tailwind, you need it more often. Puma Hydration, and now it's visually changing the graph. Precision Fuel, let's do 90 grams of carbs, that's insane. And then Element, I would say those are mine because I want to take the least amount of gels. It's telling me how many total grams, 267 grams, 76 grams of carbs per hour, which is the target of 75, 4,000 milligrams of sodium. Okay, so my last marathon I actually used salt sticks and a Martin gel, so we're gonna select those two. You can see it's saying my target of 75 grams. I'm gonna get about 69 grams per hour if I follow this fueling strategy, so it's like close enough. About 1,685 milligrams of sodium, almost 2 liters of fuel, and 0 milligrams of caffeine. Maybe I need to take more caffeine. And if you're like, oh, I don't know, I don't like the visual, I wanna see the table. We got the table down here too. It shows each of the water stops. Sip to thirst. This is really cool. When I should take my salt tablets, the clock should show about 10:47. It's about mile 5.8. And how much of sodium, caffeine, or carbs I'm gonna get in that specific moment. We have every single stop written right down here. So go ahead and change the gels. Maybe we wanna try a smaller gel to see how it's gonna update even more. We have the race conditions down. We have the race pacing down. And we have the race fueling down. But I did allude that we need to make sure we're eating before the race as well. There's a carb loading strategy. How many grams of carbs do I need to be taking at breakfast, lunch, dinner, throughout the entire day, 3 days before, 2 days before, the day actual before the race, because you want to get your glycogen stores as high as possible to have that energy, because you can take only so much energy during the race until your stomach starts hurting, at least for me. So I try to get as much fuel in as possible beforehand that my body can handle to make sure we're at tip-top shape. So now I'm gonna use Perplexity Computer to expand this dashboard even more to have a very specific pre-planned race strategy for the amount of macros, carbs that I need. So this is what I wrote in plain English. We're going to go ahead and run this bad boy and add our 4th module to this dashboard to make sure we are the world's best marathon runner. Okay, pre-race meals is done. We've added this feature to our program here. So we're gonna scroll down to the bottom. Got the gels, the carbs, there it is. Carb loading plan for London. Pre-race nutrition calendar is complete. Look at this. It's just so visually stunning, the colors. Now I know, 5 days out, 449 grams, goes all the way up to 786 grams, T-1 day. Race morning, peak load, has my goal finish time in terms of why I need to take that much. The 5 days before, 4 days before, it tells me for breakfast what I should have: oats, lunch, dinner, snacks, and liquids throughout the day. Dude, this is crazy. This is so in-depth. So now I can see every single day, 5 days before, the things I need to eat, the exact grams of carbs I need to get. It's about 112 for breakfast, 130 for lunch, 135 for dinner. And it increases every single day. So I'm making sure I'm getting enough. And then race morning, 3 to 4 hours before start, oatmeal, pre-start, 30 to 60 minutes, 25 grams. I think it's so critical, and this is one of the most common mistakes, is fueling. If you're not getting enough fuel leading up to the race and then during the race, it's gonna be very, very tough. And it's also giving me, all right, favor in the final 48 hours, the types of foods I should have, things I should limit or avoid. So it's giving me really good guidance. It looks like we get the biggest things powered by this dashboard. The race conditions, weather, humidity, temperature, elevation, how's that gonna impact me? My mile by mile race pace coaching. The race fueling, what I should be taking during the race. Pre-race fueling, how I should prepare with the meals that I eat, the things that I do. And the last and 5th final one is travel logistics. So this is the piece of flights to the airport, the hotel I'm staying at, what time I need to go to the expo and pick up my bib. Where is the expo? All this stuff's in my email. It's so hard to find. I'm always searching. I have no clue what to do. These things are either booked by brands for me, booked by family, booked by myself, and it's just all over the place. So when I'm trying to prepare and run a fast marathon, all the things I have to think about are all over the place. It's confusing. It makes life much harder. So why not have the dashboard that's already preparing me physically, help prepare me mentally, and just make the logistics side of it easy too. I want to go into my Gmail inbox, extract any details that I need, and add this to this dashboard. So that way, any marathon I'm running, I can instantly switch. It's already pulled live information for that next big upcoming marathon. And if you're curious, there are a ton of connectors available on Perplexity Computer. If you just check out this website, you can see Google Drive, SharePoint, Notion, GitHub, Slack, Monday.com, Morningstar, Hugging Face. I don't even know what that is. Wow, I just keep going and it keeps adding new things. Like, this is an insane list. You can go check out on their website to see what tools do you use and can it work with Perplexity Computer, and how can you integrate that data, that information, have it send and receive information to make something that you do, some problem that you have, and just solve it instantly. It now just needs to approve the race week logistics card. It's gonna check my email, extract the logistics, update my dashboard. We're gonna hit approve on this. Done. I added and deployed the Gmail powered race week logistics section. Crazy. It's like I'm talking to a person. It's got the hotel, flights, bib pickup. I think the biggest problem I had was like when I'm traveling, especially for the international ones, I don't have as good data and connection, and like searching these emails, figuring out where I need to go for the bid pickup, where is my hotel, like knowing the address, being able to show that to the Uber driver or whoever is at the airport. Like if I just have one place where all that information is, it makes my life so much easier and removes massive headaches. Because every time you have to think about something, you're burning calories, you're burning energy, you're creating decision fatigue, and you do not want that when you're trying to run a fast marathon. And considering I've failed numerous times, we are not gonna fail because this tool is gonna change the game. I'm here in London and I just watched the 2026 London Marathon, but I did not run it, but I did run it last year. So we're just gonna pull in the stats from last year. But here's all my details. We got the hotel I'm staying at, the check-in, the checkout dates, even the check-in and checkout times. I didn't ask for that, but I do need that. Transportation, any kind of rules and reminders that are specific to the London Marathon. And then I did travel after the marathon, so luckily it has that information too. And what time and where I need to be for the bib pickup, because if I miss that, you can't race without your bibs. So it's like these are all the most important details during race weekend, and having that all in one place is extremely valuable. The dashboard is complete. I'll have an overview down below if you want to try this on your own as well. But if you're running your next marathon, you want to have all this information in one place. Make sure you're maximizing the information, intel, and data that you need custom to you. Click the link description to get trying that out with Perplexity Computer today. Now, I know this tool is going to make sure that I do not fail at my next personal record goal coming this fall. So I'm gonna use this when I run that big marathon. I'll let you know which one it is. And if you wanna try this tool for yourself, I will have a link down in the description where you can try the exact tool that I built, but connect it to your data. And subscribe, turn notifications to see if those predictions hold, because we have to break 330 and it's gonna happen this year. Let me know in the comments, what features do you want me to add to this tool? What races are you doing and how are you going to use it to run your fastest marathon ever? Thank you, Perplexity Computer, for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description to try my dashboard today. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.